What's going on, everyone? It's APOC, your favorite host and jealous hater, and welcome to the channel. So one of the last videos that I made on KKandbabyJ was basically predicting that the return to their podcast Bates was going to be another failure, another flop, and another scam. I mean, they pushed out the typical garbage, putting the podcast kind of behind the paywall, at least for the most part, charging their community $10 a month for basically nothing, like literally zero content. I believe since March 14th was the last time that they actually posted on Bates, and since February 1st, they said that we're going to pour their heart and souls into the podcast. They went on like this whole thing about it, and look what happened. They haven't posted in months and have not mentioned anything about it. Now, no matter what you think of me, that's a ripoff. There's no excuses, no nothing. No matter what they say, if they say it, or how they try to spin it, it's a ripoff. It is a scam. Plain and simple, like period, point blank. You can't dispute that. And honestly, it would not shock me if they were still charging people that $10 a month or whatever, basically getting free money. Hey, well, maybe that's that passive income Qual's always going on about.
Guys,
welcome back to Bates.
we are back. Well, no, we've said that so many times. Let's not say that.
No, that didn't age very well, did it? Because literally their entire podcast, they've had it since like 2019, I believe. So they've had it for like 4 years now. And look what's happened. They've been completely inconsistent with it the entire time. They've gone weeks, months, even over a year without posting on it. And of course, they'll have all their little excuses as to why, but in all reality, they're just lazy.
We have so much to talk about, literally so much to talk about. And if you guys follow us on Instagram,
they don't really have much to talk about. All they really got is that Karen's pregnant again, go figure, shocker, and that they're trying another venture that's probably going to fail too.
We're having another baby. It's a girl.
Gonna find out the gender.
I don't even know if Karen actually wanted a girl. I know a lot of people do think that, but I don't know. I can see her getting jealous over the girl. That's how petty Karen is. Karen is one of those people that would get jealous over her own baby girl if Qual was giving the baby girl too much attention. Karen would be like that. And I don't really think she was jealous over Taylor having a baby girl. I think she was just jealous that Taylor was having a baby at all.
So crazy though. I still can't believe it. We have a lot that's like happened over the past year since.
Not much at all.
Like everything that was going on, we were stressed and everything was like stretched out, like our plate basically. So the reason.
Oh God, here we go. Same old crap, same old excuses that they always push.
The podcast got put on the back burner was because like we had to pick something to put down because we had so many things juggling.
Like what, Karen? You guys always claim that you're busy, but never actually show what you're busy with. Like I said, they were inconsistent with the podcast for its entire like lifespan. So like that's what you put down. Keep in mind, podcast, all you do is sit down and talk. There's like little to no editing in that either.
So we stopped vlogging as much, and then
they haven't been consistent with their vlogs since 2019, since they took their break from YouTube when they went on their honeymoon. They haven't been consistent since that point, haven't picked it back up because they lost their passion. They just don't want to do it anymore.
I mean, we completely stopped the podcast.
Yeah.
And we kind of slowed down on life just to deal with like.
Slow down on life? What does that even mean?
Yeah, we kind of slowed down on life just to with like, I guess, adult things.
Maybe they're talking about the lawsuit because that's something else that they don't actually ever mention ever because they don't want people to know, but they're still actively being sued by Richard, but they're just calling it a major inconvenience. No, bro, like you guys are getting sued for being pieces of shit, allegedly.
Pregnant again with a new baby, basically.
And you guys were sick for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, and so they're using pregnancy and being sick. When has being sick ever stopped them? They vlogged the kids when the kids were sick, especially during 2020 when everybody was getting sick. They clickbaited that all the hell. They did that several times with like each kid and themselves. Again, you can't use the whole thing about being pregnant as to why you're being busy. For one, you're not really busy when you're pregnant. You're just pregnant. That's not going to stop you from doing vlogs or whatever. Mind you, their entire channel was built off the idea of her being pregnant with her children and them exploiting them. That's their whole thing. So why all of a sudden now, being pregnant, they're too busy to vlog on a family channel, but before they did it several times. They've done it 4 other times before, and now they just had their other baby, and now they're gonna push out all this clickbait, all this content based around the baby. They just don't want to vlog unless it makes them a substantial amount of money. That's just what it is.
The kids, all the kids and Karen were sick for like, I would say like 2 or 3 months, right?
All right, Karen Nicole, if your kids are so sick that you can't even work, then maybe, just maybe, you should stop feeding them Boost and actually feed them food and take them to the damn hospital. Because if your kids are sick like that every year that they've been inconsistent and they keep making the excuses that the kids are sick, they said all this crap before, man. But if that's your excuse, take the kids to the doctors and see what's going on, because obviously something's going on.
Insane. And luckily I didn't get sick. I mean, or unluckily, I didn't have any bed rest. I was just taking care of everyone.
Sure, Jan, you probably have nannies.
I know a lot of people like start their like goals in January, but I kind of took January to like plan what we want to accomplish this year and like what we want to like put our like soul into, basically.
So what she's saying is that she planned out her year this year in January, took that month and planned it all out, which just means it was based around what content, what clickbait they're going to push out on YouTube so that they can make money.
The podcast got put on the back burner, but Quaz, like, I really, really wanted to get the podcast back up and running.
I love the podcast.
I love it too, but it was like...
She does not love the podcast too. In the podcast, in one of the last recent episodes, I don't know which one, but it's like one of the last like 5, I believe. She literally said she did not like doing the podcast. Like, why are you lying? Also, you want to pour your heart and soul into the podcast because you put it down, but now you want to pick it back up because you love it so much, and yet, what, you upload 2 or 3 episodes on your little revive, and now you're done, and you haven't mentioned as to why you rip people off? Okay.
In my mind, it was like, if I have to stop doing something because it was just overloaded, like my senses were literally overloaded, that was the thing I needed to like set down.
I just don't get that though, because the podcast was something that they were doing the least. Karen will set down the podcast when they're not even really doing it, and when not a lot is going on in her life, but when there was actually a lot going on, like a podcast or infertility, miscarriages supposedly, and KKast, all that was going on, she was just fine with doing it. But in the time where they were not doing that much, all of a sudden she's overloaded.
Now we hired an editor to help us with our
There it is. They don't even want to sit and edit, and editing doesn't even take that long. It can take maybe 3 hours max. You vlog for an hour and then you edit for 3, and that's it. It's not hard, but it's a lot of like little work, but in such a little time, and they make a lot of money just for working the time, but it doesn't make what it did. I think maybe they get a couple $100 worth in their videos now, whereas they used to get like $2,000 per video, but now it's only like $200 to $500, which by the way is still a lot. I mean, if they did that multiple times a week, they would make $2,000 a week off of YouTube, but apparently that's not good enough anymore, which, you know, I'm Gucci with, because I'd much rather have them offline and not exploiting their children to the fullest degree. So don't think that I'm complaining, because I'm not. I'm just, you know, calling them out on their shit.
Didn't get it up because
you're lazy.
The kids are always sick. We have school runs, everything, and
school runs. What does she mean by school runs? Like waking up in the morning, getting the kids dressed, fed, and then off to school, and then you have that big stretch in the day to vlog and do the editing? Like, what is she talking about? Is she really using that as an excuse? It's mind-boggling, man, what these two think is actually busy.
Especially with, we have a lot of new business adventures that mainly Qua is handling.
Not a bunch. It's literally like 1 or 2. I think they have the restaurant and they have an ice cream shop, I think, and that's it. But mainly Qua is handling, which means Karen's not handling it, which means she could do the editing, but she doesn't want to because she's lazy.
And Qua usually is the editor. Like, I would edit, but I promise you guys it would not be very good.
What does that matter? Isn't it just supposed to be about memories, Karen? That's what I thought it was about, just memories. But now it has to be this whole like theatrical thing. It's not how memories work.
No,
and it's just because of my patience. Like, editing takes a lot of patience, and I don't have any.
But you love it. So why would you have to have patience for something that you love and have passion for?
And I just don't like repeated clips or like sound pops and stuff like that.
And I don't pay attention to like the minor details like that. I'm like,
minor details don't matter when it's just about memories, right? Like, this is why I call these two out, man. The things that they say is just ridiculous and just hypocritical, and they contradict themselves in every single sentence they spew.
You know,
yeah,
which
you just rush it.
I'm not an editor, so, you know.
And that's okay.
Yeah, so we hired an editor, and that has been helping us.
I think now she's admitted that she started editing some of her shit. She was just too lazy, and I think they got rid of their editor, at least for like the most part, when there's no like clickbaited videos, when it's just like a regular video. I think Karen edits that, and then Paul maybe sometimes, I don't know, but I think they say the editor just for the bigger videos like the birth vlog and gender reveals and stuff like that, because they know they'll get hundreds of thousands of views on those. Whereas if they paid an editor to like edit a video that's like 80,000 views or something like that, which is kind of like around their average between like 70 to like 90,000, that would be basically the entire revenue from that video would go to the editor, because editing does cost some money. So they're only going to have an editor for the videos that get hundreds of thousands of views rather than like 70 to 90,000.
So we've been able to like set up a schedule. We're going to be posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday on YouTube.
By the way, they have not stuck to that at all. I think maybe for the first couple of weeks, but no. Just like the podcast, they backtrack on everything they do.
The podcast, we want to do it once a week.
They haven't posted since March 14th, I believe.
And we can also call on Instagram.
Yeah.
Did you know that? That would be cool.
There's a better way to call.
They've done this before on Bates before they did the little revive where they wanted their community to call in and ask questions. And they've done this several times on their other platforms, asking people for questions or if they want to be involved, and nothing ever came out of it. And my guess is it's because maybe only like 1 or 2 people actually were interested, but the rest of the people didn't really give a damn. I cannot tell you how many times I saw Karen and Qual post on their social medias asking people about if they want to be involved with Bates, and nothing ever came out of it. I'm telling you, there were many times that happened.
So we can like do stuff like that and like be more interactive here and be more like raw and vocal, rather than like the vlogs are more like
Was she gonna say the vlogs are more scripted, fake, and phony? Is that what she's saying? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Not us talking 24, about like what's going on 24/7. So
that's literally what your vlogs are about, what you're doing in your life day to day. That's what you talk about in your podcast.
Fun to like discuss like the new business stuff that we're doing. Qua's been literally drowning in all of that.
Oh, I bet he is. He's not used to the work.
Beginning. So I'm super excited to like finally announce that and get that out. And we'll probably just talk about it on the podcast. Yeah. And then once it's all done, we'll do a whole series on YouTube.
Which is so funny because they stopped talking about it on the podcast and they started uploading about it on YouTube. Like, they did the opposite of what she just said.
I've thought of ways to like incorporate you guys and our YouTube audience into what we're making.
Yeah, and the way is going to do that, by the way, this is before they announced the restaurants. That's why they're kind of be like coy about it. You know what I mean? They're not really saying it's a restaurant. This is before. So just for context, so you guys know. But how they want to engage their community with the restaurant is by probably just linking the address on their Instagram and say, hey, come on by, guys, and give us money. That's probably literally it.
We're kind of building our life outside of social media so that
when your channel fully tanks, you don't just fall on your face, because that's what you need to do. And that's what you should have done before. They did this whole thing about like financials and budgeting and not putting all your eggs in one basket. For years, they preached about it online. They still have it in their podcast as well about that stuff. And they did that all. They put all their eggs in one basket, which was vlogging. And they also didn't budget their money and got themselves into a really bad financial pickle and are actually being sued because of their bad decisions. So they're just a bunch of hypocrites who contradict themselves in every sentence they say. And only now are they building something outside of YouTube or outside of social media so that they have something. But the problem is it's going to tank because they don't know how to do it, because they're lazy, and it's not going to be what it is. And I'm not even hoping for their failure. I'm saying from their pattern of behavior, it's probably going to fail because of that. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. I'm not like that. I'm just saying that they have shown that they do not have the grit for this. You know what I mean? Karen started Kick-Ass in a time where they were booming online and could have turned it into something amazing, and it could have went outside of social media or been correlated with it. She had something great and she drove it right into the ground. That's why Daniel, her ex-business partner, dipped out and started doing his own thing. And as soon as he started doing his own thing, he started popping off and making money and going to meet his idols and everything, which is great. That's cool. But that's because he knew that Kick-Ass was a failure and he didn't want to do it anymore. Literally, that's what happened. Again, I don't wish for bad things to happen. It's just that they do not have it in them to make this restaurant and this ice cream shop actually happen, or at least last long. Or if anything, even if it does last, it is not going to be what they think it's going to be. And then they're going to have a real culture shock because they are not going to be making the money that they've been making for the past, been making since 2017. Karen had to sell her Tesla, her Audi R8. Qual had to sell his dream car. I can guarantee you that they will eventually have to sell this lake home. I just have a feeling about it.
Will no longer be our main source of income.
Oh, there it is. And that's for all the little cretins who think that, oh, well, they have real estate, you know, they didn't make all their money from YouTube. There it is from Karen's mouth, literally stating that YouTube is their sole income, or it's their biggest income. Has Qua done real estate? Yes, but he didn't sell too many homes. They didn't do it for too long. The majority of their income and the reason why they have everything they have is because of YouTube, is because they exploited their children. That's what that is. And we already know that KKandbabyJ are not going to quit social media because they want to make sure that they still have their following and they can still make nice amounts of money coming from those sponsorships, still exploiting their children.
And that's something that I've wanted for a really long time because social media has always been like a passion of mine.
No, it hasn't. It never has been. It's just been a money ploy, a way to make money, and a way to beg for attention online.
Once it became like a full-time job, it does kind of take the passion away.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you right there, Karen, because you didn't do shit on YouTube. Qua's the one that took over and did all the editing and most of the vlogging while you stood off in the background, and when we didn't see it, you were off napping. You didn't make it a full-time job, Karen. You couldn't even do that for Kickass, your own business, where you admitted that you only went once a week for like 20-minute meetings just so you can get like updates. Oh, and you know, you picked out colors for the leggings and shit, you know what I mean? Like, you did not do shit. You didn't make it a full-time job. And come on, it's not like you're doing a 9 to 5. Literally, you guys would vlog throughout the day for an hour, and then Qua would do all the editing. But while you're also like filming throughout your day, it's not like you're sitting at a desk. It's not like you're serving tables. No, you're out on your jet skis and your boat. You're out partying or on racetracks or just in the swimming pool or on your beach. You know what I mean? Like, she is literally insane to think that this was a full-time job for them.
So I'm excited to like get these business things started and that be our job.
I love it that she's using the word our job. Have that be our job. Well, she also just admitted that Qua's the one doing it all and that she's not really involved.
Social media be our passion again. So that's what I'm excited about.
That makes no sense because, you know, I just explained it all, but again, that makes no sense at all. Like, literally no sense.
Like, as sad as it is to think about and to say, like, we are probably closer to the end of our YouTube career than in the middle. Like, we're like towards the end of it.
Yeah, and the reason why he's saying that is because their views and their channel are tanking. Like, it's going down. Like, the ship is sinking. Guarantee you, if the views were still up, they would still be vlogging every single day and making that money that they've always wanted. They would still be doing that, but things changed because people stopped liking them because they're materialistic shitheads. But if people didn't awaken to their bullshit and they were still pumping out children, I mean, she just did another one, but like, if they were still able to do that even more and make the same views and make the same money, they wouldn't be closer to the end. They would still be in the middle or the beginning. They're only saying this now because, like I said, the ship is sinking.
And yeah, just like Karen said, we're not going to be gone completely, but
yeah, we know.
Guys, and interacting, like, I miss all that, and I miss those days. Like,
every day is a new day. How many times are you gonna spin that record, Qua? We get it. You had passion before. That's why you needed to take breaks, because you were burnt out from vlogging, right? If you love it so much, if it was your passion, then why are you burnt out from it? Which, by the way, they could also pick and choose anytime they want to leave and come back, you know, and take their breaks. Whereas a real full-time job, you cannot do that shit.
Elle Mills said it perfectly. Like, she loved her YouTube journey. She just got to a point where she didn't want to be the product anymore. Like, I think it's to not be like the center of attention for our vlogs anymore. But
okay, so how can you say that you want to, you know, work on something else and have social media be your passion again, while also saying that you don't want to be the product anymore? You say you love your channel, you love everything you created, but now you say you don't want to be the product. But also, you filming and documenting your restaurant or like whatever else you do, like, you are still the product at the end of the day. And again, even now, this is like February 1st, I believe, when they pushed this out. This episode that we're breaking down right now was posted early February. And now, in June, their baby was just born, and they're exploiting the baby girl to the fullest degree. But they don't want to be the product anymore, guys.
Us growing up,
us learning how to be learning how to be parents.
And yet, if you question them or if you say anything they don't like, all of a sudden you're a jealous, envious loser that can't know everything about them based from 15-minute videos. Even if those 15-minute videos go on for years and they exploit every personal little thing about their children and push out all the information about their lives, you can't know anything about them, but they know all about you based from nothing. All right, anyways, guys, that was wild. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this? Obviously, this was only like half of that episode. I do want to break down the other one, and we'll get to that. But thank you for tuning in. Again, put your thoughts down below. Let me know. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.